Joe Maddon needed Mike Montgomery to get through at least 6 innings given the circumstances presenting the Cubs manager before Game 2 of Tuesday's day-night doubleheader against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Not only were the Cubs short a man in the bullpen thanks to Brandon Morrow's pants-related back injury, but Maddon had to use 4 relievers, including Pedro Strop for 2 innings, after Tyler Chatwood managed only 5 innings in Game 1 earlier in the afternoon. So when Montgomery, who had only thrown over 100 pitches once in the last 2.5 before Tuesday, saw his pitch count sit at 40 after 2 innings, and then 63 after 3, he knew he needed to regroup to avoid creating a mess for the Cubs bullpen. What followed was a start that, statistically, wasn't the most impressive of the 5 Montgomerys made since rejoining the Cubs rotation earlier this year. But it was an important start in that the 28-year-old left-hander didn't have his best stuff, yet didn't give in to a good Dodgers lineup. And holding that bunch to 1 run over 6 innings was exactly what the Cubs needed in what turned out to be a 2-1 extra inning win. Especially when you don't have your best stuff, you always gotta, that's when you really learn how to pitch, Montgomery said. It's also the kind of start that could be a major point in Montgomery's favor when Maddon is presented with a decision to make on his starting rotation whenever Yu Darvish comes off the disabled list. Knowing that Montgomery can grind his way through 6 innings when his team needs it the most without his best stuff only can add to the confidence the Cubs have in him. Montgomery didn't have his best stuff on Tuesday, issuing more walks 4 than he had in his previous 4 starts 3. He threw 48 pitches between the second and third innings, and only 25 of those pitches were strikes. Of the 9 times the Dodgers reached base against Montgomery, 6 were the result of fastballs either leading to a walk or a hit. Even though the Dodgers were able to bother Montgomery a bit on his fastball, Maddon said that's the pitch of his that's impressed him the most over the last few weeks. He never got rushed, Maddon said. In the past he would seem to get rushed when things weren't going well, when he spot started. Overall, fastball command is better. Even though he was off a little bit tonight, the fastball command still exceeds what I've seen in the past couple of years on a more consistent basis. The changeup, really good pitch. He got out of some jams, but I think the fact that he knows where his fastball is going now is the difference maker for him. Darvish will throw a simulated game on Wednesday after throwing 2 bullpen sessions last week. Maddon still doesn't have a timetable for the $126 million right-hander's return, and said he's not entertaining what to do with his rotation until Darvish comes off the disabled list. But Maddon did mention Montgomery's relative lack of an innings load, the most he's thrown in 130 2/3, which he did in 2017, as a reason to perhaps not rush him into a permanent starting role the rest of the going to a 6-man rotation is a possibility, too, Maddon said, but the overarching point is this: Montgomery will remain in the Cubs rotation as long as he keeps earning it. That can be the product of strong outings in which he has good stuff, or games like Tuesday in which he shows the Cubs the kind of resiliency most starters need to get through I pitch well, good things happen, Montgomery said. I've always thought that opportunities, you just gotta make the most of them.